Hello, friends. Welcome inside, at least for me, Ben Garrett, the Riverland Roofing Studios. This is Talk of Champions. I am, again, Ben Garrett at Spirit. Been on Twitter, the Ole Miss Spirit. That QR code right there that you see in the top right corner of your screen is for the Ole Miss Spirit to sign up today for 50% off an annual subscription. Just scan the QR code, join as a new member, and you'll get 50% off as a new member of the Ole Miss Spirit. OMSpirit.com, affiliate of On3. We're talking about this transfer portal stuff all day, every day. The last day for portal entrance is Friday, January 16th at 11:59 p.m. And Ole Miss is going to be busy. A lot of stuff has happened here in the last couple of days since the last time we talked. Here's Zach Berry from the Ole Miss Spirit. Hey, Zach, how we doing?
Good morning. Hello, Ben.
Good morning. How are you?
Buddy, we got a double espresso down the gullet, so we're ready to rock and roll. We got a lot of moving parts. Things are moving quickly as we have 48 hours for folks to get in the portal if they wish to do so. And we got a lot to discuss. How are you?
TJ Dottery. I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. TJ Dottery, Ole Miss's leading tackler last year, has got into the portal late last night or early this morning, Thursday morning, depending on your perspective, I guess. What do you make of, first of all, his entry at the Ole Miss Spirit? Again, that QR code above Zach's head. We've been talking about TJ Dottery specifically. Pete Nakos of On3 came out in his initial report after the news came down that TJ had gotten into the portal, that LSU was the team to watch. I've been hearing Alabama and Auburn specifically really coming hard after him. What do you make of TJ Dottery getting to the portal?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2026, Ben. It's a dollars and cents game at this point. I think that it's pretty clear that Dottery and his representation wanted to renegotiate his contract, his deal, and I think the number was not agreed upon, and I think he's wanting to shop around a little bit. Look, there's no way to spin it. It's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Leading tackler. I was talking to the fellas from Hit That Line this morning, and I believe it was Nick brought it up, and he said, or maybe it was Austin, he said, look, like he wore the green dot for a reason. Heady, smart player, trusted by Pete Golding to run the defense, call the defense. If you want to look at it on the flip side, maybe Ole Miss is looking to possibly bring someone else in at a little bit of a cheaper price point and has more eligibility remaining. And by that, I'm talking about the Cal linebacker that Ole Miss is talking to and potentially bringing in for a visit. And that's Luke Farrelly, committed to Clemson a little over a week ago, but has not signed. I think he's still entertaining other programs. I talked to somebody this morning and they said, quote, things are heating up. No visit has been confirmed, but he would be someone that you could bring in that equally, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I can pull them up, but very productive linebacker for Cal and has more eligibility remaining. So, and that's not a slight on Dottery. Look, he's a leading tackler for a reason. He made a lot of plays for Ole Miss. Probably made one of the bigger plays of the season with the forced fumble against Arkansas. But yeah, we talk about it all the time, Ben. We use the phrase allocating resources responsibly. And if he's wanting to get more money and Ole Miss feels that it needs to address needs elsewhere and the funds must be, balanced, moved around to do so. So, yeah, you'd love to keep him. He's the leader of your defense. He was the quarterback on that side of the football. But if he's wanting to get a better deal, we've seen this, Ben. The track record's there. The proof is in the pudding with Walker Jones and William Liston and the Grove Collective. They are going to be smart with how they spend their money.
First of all, it is a loss. TJ Dottery, there's no way to spin it. Ole Miss has been working to try to bring him back into the fold for days. Went and saw him recently within the last couple of days to try to kind of swing things back in their favor. There's some questions about term sheets getting leaked and this, that, and the other. Look, guys, kids talk, agents talk. Even more than that, your former head coach and general manager and a lot of the room or a lot of the building is now in Baton Rouge. So That's not a surprise to me that some stuff got out there. That's happening everywhere.
I can't believe that was quote news yesterday.
Yeah,
Like that's these guys talk, man. They talk about what they're getting.
That was a surprise that that it got out there like that. Look, I made the post on the Ole Miss Spirit, omespirit.com. That QR code above Zach's head, scan, join as a new member for 50% off an annual sub. And I thought that was pretty commonplace stuff that happens. I didn't really think of it as something groundbreaking or anything. Still, it's happening pretty regularly in and around the building, and it's not just Ole Miss either. I do think that there is something to TJ wanting more money, but I don't think that has, I don't think the term sheets or anything getting leaked out there like that. That's not the reason TJ was getting in. There was already for him some consideration to get in, and Ole Miss had been working to get him re-signed. Well, at least for me, like the surprise isn't that TJ Dottery got in. Now it says, what does that mean, if anything, for guys like Kaden Lee? You know what I mean? Because it's the 15th. 11:59 p.m. Central Time on Friday. You got to get in. Otherwise, you can't get in. And this was kind of a last-minute addition. It does put them in a bit of a bind in terms of the linebackers, because East Feliciana Reb is not wrong. Linebackers were looking thin even before TJ Dottery went to the portal. And say what you want to about TJ, man. Like with every player, are there legitimate? Like, is any player perfect? Of course not. Could you pick apart their games? Of course you could. With TJ, it was run fitting. I mean, he got pushed around against Georgia. He got pushed around against Miami. But at the end of the day, TJ Dottery has been one of the most consistently productive pieces for Ole Miss defensively for a while now. The only games he didn't play every single snap this year: Georgia State, Tulane, Citadel, Mississippi State, the first round of the playoffs against Tulane, and only missed one play against Georgia. This is an important player. Now the question is,
he played every play of the Fiesta Bowl.
Every play. So the question, if you were already thin that way and he had to play every snap, we know Keaton Thomas is coming, and he's going to be paired alongside some Taryn Perkins. They like Jacoby Hobson, but it gets pretty thin there. You mentioned the Cal linebacker that we raised as a possibility on the Ole Miss Spirit yesterday, coming in for a visit. That's been one of the main questions I've gotten is, did he sign or did he just commit? And I think we've learned pretty quickly it doesn't really matter anymore if you signed, if you committed, because Chris Jones signed with Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm curious if maybe that changes anything for Chris Jones. I don't know. Ole Miss had him evaluated at a price point just north of $200K, and somebody offered him triple to get in even though he signed with Ole Miss. Do you hold him to that? Like, what does that mean? And Ole Miss so far is not doing so. Same thing with Devin Harper. I think Devin Harper's going to LSU. TJ Dottery going to LSU would be something.
And look, just to clear things up here, this wasn't me trying to spin Dottery leaving. I was just looking at it from both sides.
Not at all.
It's a huge loss, but you also look at it from the perspective of if Dottery doesn't come back, where are they going to go? But I don't know, man. If we're just being honest here, people going to LSU after what Lane Kiffin did, after how he literally treated the program, the university, the team, the coaches, I mean, there is no way to spin that. I mean, he just straight up spit in your face and was just like, I'm just going to leave. I don't care. I don't care about the playoff run. I lied for months about how I wanted to stay and blah, blah, blah. All the Oxford, I needed Oxford, whatever. Save it, dude. Like, you're the same guy that we thought you were. But, man, going to play for that guy, I know money it talks, and that's what's important these days to pretty much all these players. Not all of them, but most of them. But, man, that is a tough, tough scene to leave to go play for that guy again. And this isn't like, well, this is just an Ole Miss guy with sour grapes. No, man, like that's just straight up. Like, that's just weird. I don't know. I'm not wired that way if people treat you like that. But again, I'm not possibly getting $800K to go play for a year in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
The term sheet thing getting leaked. I mean, come on. Winston Watkins was driving a Lamborghini SUV. You don't need a term sheet to figure it out. Jordan Seaton has got Instagram photos in the backseat of a Maybach. Come on now. You don't need a term sheet to get leaked to figure out what kind of money he's getting. Like that whole thing leaking yesterday and then people running with it as news. I mean, come on. Like these guys are all 19, 20, 21 years old, 22. They're talking about how much money they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they were in Scottsdale, guys were going to luxury shops to buy stuff.
That's really funny.
I mean, come on, man. You're not walking out with a couple, you're not walking out with some Bottega bags if you're making chump change.
Well, the bottom line is this: TJ Dottery is in the portal. Who are the candidates that we're most talking about at the Ole Miss Spirit? Because they have to, like, if you now reorder the needs with 2 days remaining here for new entrants to get in, Darryl Gill finally popping off is good. Isaiah Spencer, the transfer from Virginia Tech, doesn't have a lot as far as like production on his resume necessarily. Neither does Cam Miller, but you needed some guys in that room. You're trying to re-recruit Kaden Lee.
Good depth piece.
Yeah, you're not.
He can return kicks.
Yeah, it's not wide receiver, offensive tackle, linebacker. I think now it's linebacker, offensive tackle, wide receiver. I think they're in on Nick Anderson, who is Ryder Anderson's brother, played at LSU last year, formerly of Oklahoma. Yeah, I know they're in on him. But as far as linebacker is concerned, who all should Ole Miss fans be paying attention to? Not just the Cal linebacker. I think TJ Dottery was such an important part of this defense, and there's some already asking, well, what about? I mean, you got to do what you can to get him back. Well, I don't disagree with that, but like now that he's made that move, what you've got to do is you just got to get at least 2, maybe even 3 portal linebackers now between now and the end of this whole portal cycle that can come in and compete to start. Keaton Thomas is going to come in here and start. You're going to pay him right beside Santerian Perkins. They got Prince Willie Monreal listed as a linebacker because really in their 4-2-5, one of those stand-up defensive ends is more of a linebacker, but he's not going to do more linebacker responsibilities like Santerian did this year and drop it into coverage. So if it's not the Cal linebacker, who are some other options that we're looking at here?
Yeah, I've had some people ask me about Santerian and like, would he move inside to get more film for the NFL? Look, maybe it's just because of the last name. I feel like that would be kind of like a Harold Perkins mistake where LSU tried to move him inside and it didn't really work. Now, I'm not saying Santerian couldn't do it, but I think he's fine as an edge rusher. I think in the NFL these days, he can play at the NFL level at that position because the NFL is moving to more, spread defenses, if you will, because it's all about making plays in space and matchups and being able to, negate yards after the catch. And Perkins is a guy that can move in space well. I mean, I think you're going to really expect Jacoby Hobson to step up. I think that the coaches are very high on him. He was a guy that came in, wasn't going to play as a true freshman because of what was in front of him. But I think that he is going to be someone that's expected to step up. And I don't think it's crazy to think that he could play a lot next year. I mean, the dude's already built like a first off the bus type guy. I think, like you mentioned, Keaton Thompson is going to come in. I mean, he probably steps right in as the green dot guy.
That's where it hurts, is because like TJ was the green dot guy. Say what you want to about aspects of his game. Ole Miss wants TJ Dottery back. Somebody asked the Book of Loves, is there a chance TJ is just testing his portal worth and he comes back? He's been testing his portal worth. He's gotten in because his intentions are to leave. He's been entertaining offers for days. Now, Ole Miss felt optimistic about it last week, early this week, but the more it drug on, like I report on the Ole Miss Spirit, that QR code above my head now. Scan it, new members get 50% off. And I'm wearing a Bears hat, not because I'm now a Bears fan in comparison to the Cowboys. No, the Cowboys are ride or die, but through this playoff run, we're going with the Bears. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some fun with the Bears. So I just pulled out the old Bears hat because someone asked me about that the other day in the chat. But they wanted TJ Dottery back, and like I reported earlier this week, it was trending in the wrong direction, not just for TJ but for Devin Harper too. The question with Devin Harper is if whether or not Ole Miss will hold him to a contract. But like, if you lose TJ Dottery, which it looks like you're going to do, and you know what you already have. You have Keaton Thompson, Santerian Perkins, Jacoby Hobson. Give me some other possibilities, be it visit guys we're talking about on the Ole Miss Spirit, the ones you think could really be realistic. Do you think Ole Miss will keep pushing for a Dottery return? That is that's an interesting question, Brad. That's well, Bradley. I don't want to assume that you go by Brad, but that's the question I'm going to most be paying attention to.
I don't think that's what's happening. I think, like you said, he's already been testing. I think he's kind of made his decision, in my opinion, because I think at this point it was like, hey, this is my number. If you guys can't meet it, I'm going to go elsewhere. Now, I don't know that for a fact. That's just, I'm assuming that's what happened. Now, things can change.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that Lane Kiffin is going to be full of shit and not give him what he wants, and then he ultimately wants to come back, and we'll be like, hey, okay, I'll come back because I want to play. But as far as other candidates, we talked about Luke Farrelly, true linebacker. Blake Purchase is scheduled to be on campus today. He's more of an edge guy, but like you said, 4.25, they can get creative with guys that are versatile. Speaking of versatile, the dude that's fascinating is Liam Danitz out of Hope College, D3 guy. Was talking to him this morning. He's at Wisconsin right now. He will be at Ole Miss tomorrow, barring he doesn't commit and sign with Wisconsin during his visit. But I do think he will visit Ole Miss tomorrow. Guy that blew up recently, 21 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 40-plus tackles for Hope College. Track guy, ran a 10.5 500 meter. If you're not familiar with track numbers, that's moving. And at 6'5", 230, that's really damn impressive. Maybe he could be a versatile guy because he's 230 pounds. He's not super heavy, more of a weak side defensive end linebacker type guy. There's a lot of ways they could go about it with the defense, and I do think, Ben, one thing we haven't addressed is I think on the defensive line in the portal, Ole Miss has really done some work. Jaheim Otis, Mekhi Barrow, they got Jonathan Maldonado, who's another weak side kind of guy that, speed rush guy off the edge from Nevada. So they've got, Cam Franklin's coming back, William Eccles, Jamarius Brown. As of now, Deshaun Womack is coming back. So they've got a lot of pieces up front that could alleviate some of the issues at linebacker. If you're strong on the front, that's going to help the linebackers, right? You still need bodies there. You still need guys. But I think that's another way to look at this as, okay, maybe they might only go for one more and then look at offensive tackle for the rest of the portal pieces. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it right now. I mean, with less than 48 hours remaining to get in the portal, things can obviously change because guys are going to be making decisions today and tomorrow on what they want to do. But as far as who's remaining in the portal, and again, to your point earlier, like guys have committed, but have they signed? That's the big thing. And if they've signed, have they signed or have they done a rev share deal? Because if they have a rev share deal, there's buyouts included and things move quickly there.
Because whoever Devin Harper, if Devin Harper goes somewhere else, and I think the only other option is LSU. If he goes to LSU, LSU's going to owe money. A chunk of it. I mean, it's going to be a cap hit for him.
No, yeah, for sure. For him. And I think this is kind of one of those things where, I mean, look, he was at Ole Miss for 6 years. We know him well enough at this point. I mean, this is kind of, to me, Lane Kiffin's trying to just stick it to Ole Miss at this point. I mean, Devin Harper's a good player. But, I mean, there's no doubt.
He's going to be a starter for you.
There's no doubt that he's wanting to do this just because it's an Ole Miss guy. And he's, like, same with Dottery. Like, he's wanting to get him just for the pub, for the, the social media clicks. And, what's Kaden Lee going to do? Is Kaden Lee going to go to LSU? Is he going to go to Georgia? Is he going to stay? I don't know. Up until this point, all signs have been Kaden Lee was going to come back. Wants to stay at Ole Miss, wants to play. How does the recently, the move to, Mississippi, Justice Court or whatever with Trinidad Chambliss. I don't want to. I'm not an attorney. I don't know all the terminology, but like they're moving it to the Mississippi level to try to get him eligible. How does that affect Kaden Lee? Like I'm assuming he wants to know who his quarterback is, obviously, but I think there's been some renewed optimism. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee or, I'm not going to give a percentage, but I do think that there's been some cautious optimism that's kind of bubbling to the surface here with Chambliss, with Tom Mars, and William Liston. I mean, I was telling people the other day, like Ole Miss has kind of assembled the Mississippi trial lawyer Avengers now to get Trinidad Chambliss eligible for one more year. Especially with all the new information that came to light, because the NCAA just, picked and cut out a quote from Ferris State and then didn't include the rest of it, where the school was like, yeah, he had what was it, like level 3 mononucleosis, which is damn near impossible to do anything active when you have that. So we'll see. I don't want to throw out any other like names that are in the portal, because I don't know any other names other than the ones we've already mentioned as far as who Ole Miss is looking to host. Now we'll be sure to find out in the next 48 hours for sure. But again, like with Kaden Lee, he's still not in the portal. That doesn't mean he's coming back. It's not a guarantee, but time's running out to get in. So you gotta, as they say, shit or get off the pot.
Now the portal closing at 11:59 doesn't. I mean, that's for new entrants. That doesn't mean like the work continues to fall by the wayside. Answer the 5-star thing. Why they not being counted in the portal polls? I don't really know what that's in direct reference to. I'm assuming that like a few people on my board at the Ole Miss Spirit, that QR card above my head, have noted how On3 like is knocking down like rankings or something for Ole Miss players. I haven't seen that, but I've already asked On3 about it specifically, and I can't speak for them. Those are that's that's their.
It could be.
I don't know.
So now the rankings have players listed as what they were coming out of high school and what they are in the portal. Now I don't know. I don't control the database when it comes to calculating the numbers for the rankings. Now it could take it could take a day or two to refresh. I think one of them was with Daryl Gill. I believe he was a 3-star out of high school, 4-star in the portal. So it might just take a second. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But
it matters. I disagree with that. I think it does matter. But and Ole Miss fans, that's not an unreasonable request, right? Like I don't. I think that.
I mean, it's not On3 or Rivals picking on Ole Miss. I mean, it's just the numbers in the database and how they calculate the portal rankings for the teams. I mean, at the end of the day, you just got to get the pieces you need. And then like Daryl Gill, I think has the opportunity to be a 4 or 5-star type player. And the guy put up pretty damn good numbers, and the analytics speak to it as well. Dude just had no quarterback play at Syracuse. I mean, you had the starter get hurt, and the backup, Ricky Collins, wasn't very good. Still managed to put up big numbers. I think he's someone who can definitely make a difference in the Ole Miss offense. I think he's more Harrison Wallace than Dejon Stribling. I think in a perfect world, you hope that Caleb Odom can translate into being a Dejon Stribling type guy, big physical outside receiver. But Gill is someone that can get down the field, take the top off, really attacks the ball in the air, good hands. Somebody like Harrison Wallace, like that's what he was doing in this offense. So, but yeah, I mean, I think right now, if you're Ole Miss, you're looking at, like you said, linebacker and then offensive tackle. I think the big thing for Ole Miss was shoring up the interior. Bryson Sanders, Delano Townsend, Patrick Kudus. That right there is huge, because you got Keywan Lacey coming back. You're going to run the football. You need to be physical and effective on the interior. And those three guys, I mean, say what you want about the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, Miami dominated the line of scrimmage on offense. But Ole Miss held its own against Ruben Bain and Mesidor in that defense. I mean, they moved the football. They ran the ball effectively. So I think that's huge for Ole Miss looking at 2026 and shoring up the offensive line. But yeah, you got to find some tackles. You've got some pieces that are coming back that can step up, but you wouldn't hate bringing in a couple other guys for competition and to push dudes. I mean, Carius Kern, probably a candidate to start at one tackle.
Even though they prefer him in the interior.
Yeah, I think if he wants an NFL future, I think he's going to be an interior guy. But played as a true freshman at right tackle for LSU and had some flashes of showing some real promise there. But yeah, I for Ole Miss, I think if you're looking at the portal class right now, I think defensively, outside of linebacker, I mean, about as good as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Crawford, probably going to play on Sunday. Keaton Thomas, probably a Sunday guy. Sharif Denson, Edwin Joseph, Janelle Aguero, 3 dudes that played Power 4 football, started, really good players, got a chance to play on Sundays. So I know it's kind of the what have you done for me lately and, what's happening right now. But people need to remember, like, hey, Pete and them kind of cleaned up pretty quick. Oh, by the way, while playing in the college football playoff, which I think gets lost in this a lot, where that's crazy to have to do. I mean, they got to fix the calendar. That's a topic for another day. But yeah, I mean, I think you fix a couple things at linebacker, maybe get one more offensive tackle, maybe one more edge guy, and this is a legitimate top 5 portal class. And Trinidad Chambliss comes back, it's a preseason top 5 team, Ben.
Yeah, and somebody asked about Trinidad. Is there an update? There really isn't one. I mean, Ole Miss is operating like Trinidad's going to be their quarterback in 2026, including enlisting him to help in the retention effort, specifically with Kaden Lee. So, I don't think anything as far as official has happened. It's not like Ole Miss has won the appeal, but they are appealing. Not only are they appealing, but Tom Mars and William Liston are planning to file suit in state of Mississippi court to get that injunction. If it's not him, it'd be Deuce Knight as the leading candidate to start next year. Walker Howard was brought back from ULL strictly as depth. He knows what his role is going to be. He's not coming in here to push the start necessarily. But as far as Trinidad, I think that Ole Miss believes he's going to be their quarterback in 2026. Now, whether that bears out, you got to go through the courts and stuff like that. Bummed out, Ben, is not it. Cheer up. Do I seem bummed out? I'm not bummed out. I'm just chilling on this. I'm just chilling on this Thursday, trying to let people say I interrupt too much. So I'm trying to let Zach do talking, keep my peace over here. And when it's time to talk, bring it up. I feel good.
I feel good.
I do need to get to built different fitness. I've already told my guys, like, look, it's time now. There's no excuses. I need to get to built different fitness and get this holiday weight. Let's pretend like it's holiday weight, not weight that I've carried my entire life. Get this off of me for 2026. But no, I'm good, man. I appreciate you asking. I'm really just trying not to interrupt. See, you can't win. You can't win for losing. With some been working. What is this? Been working. Those wheels are turning. They are. Well, what do they do? Because listen, Keaton Thomas was not signed to sit, period. All right. Now the question becomes Chris Jones. All right. Chris Jones signed a deal with Ole Miss, Southern Miss linebacker. Ole Miss had him evaluated at a price point of just north of $200K, got offered well over $600K somewhere else. Do you pivot back to him? I haven't heard a lot of that yet. It would make some sense. It would make some sense. Ben got that Winnie shirt in the works. Oh,
it was his dream to play at Ole Miss, Ben.
So I don't know if the Chris Jones possibility now the Cal
maybe if he changes his name to like Frank Jones, it'll work. Because Chris Jones seems to just be cursed at this point.
It's just a cursed name for Ole Miss. Sure. So I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of that. It would make a ton of sense to me to pivot back and then with money freed up that you otherwise didn't have allocated.
Now,
but I just haven't heard that.
Here's another way to look at it, Ben. If Dottery's dead and gone, if he's out,
I think he's out. I think you don't get into the portal unless you have full intent to leave.
I do too, especially this late. Like,
yeah.
It's not like you're putting the Grove Collective's feet to the fire at this point.
No, like they've been recruiting him. They've been talking to him.
Yeah. Now, do you
what are
take
the odds? Jordan Seaton. Many people have asked about Jordan Seaton, Colorado left tackle. I don't think the odds are good at all. He's going to get at least $3 million, if not more than that. If Ole Miss, for Ole Miss in the offensive line, for me, it's pretty simple. You can get Q McBroom signed on. If you could get Devin Harper back, that's what you want to do, because you'd already had you signed him to an NIL deal.
More eligibility too, because Seaton's one and done.
One and done. Maybe they splurge in that way, but the last hour, I don't think that's happening. If they checked in, of course they have, but I just don't think. Here's the thing about Devin Harper. If he does leave, which is what I would expect him to do, then I fully believe, or I don't fully believe, I know it, like LSU or whoever will owe money. Significant money.
That's a fact.
Now, what that means for building out the roster and replacing him for next year, I don't know. But let's not pretend like the end of the portal window as far as for new entrants hasn't been tough. Dottery to LSU will not play out well. If he goes to LSU, more power to him. Bull was kind to me, and I liked him, and I could text him right now if you want me to. Ask him a question. You want me to ask Bull a question? Hey, Bull, what's going on?
Yeah, text him.
Okay. What do you want me
about Jordan Seaton? It's funny because every time I've ever talked to him,
what am I texting? What am I texting, Bull?
I mean, just ask him where he's going. I don't know.
Where you go?
Whatever.
Where are you going?
Everything about Jordan Seaton. This is interesting because I talked to him when he was at IMG. Talked here and there with him.
Man, hold on one second. You're gonna do that. You do that Jordan Seaton thing. My man Hammond Austin, he keeps asking about Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo announced he was re-upping with Texas yesterday. A lot of schools were after him, in his ear, especially after the Cam Coleman stuff, and that was a possibility. But he's re-upped with Texas. Yeah. Texas is gonna be a good football team next year. But is Ryan Wingo one of the maybe somebody that I'd heard some stuff about? Yes. And it didn't happen. That's the way the portal works sometimes. But the fact that he had to announce, even though he never got into the portal, that he's re-upping should tell you everything. Kyle Parker. I don't think Kyle Parker. I mean, he committed somewhere else. I'm pretty sure.
He's Auburn or Ohio State.
Yeah, I think he's gone somewhere else. So I don't think Kyle Parker. Like right now, for me, if you're looking at how Ole Miss finishes this thing out, Zach, they need linebackers. They need linemen. Mm-hmm. Linebackers and linemen. Yes, and get Kaden Lee retained.
Yeah, right? The thing about Seaton that I always found interesting, and I talked to him when he was in high school, talked to him here and there while he's been at Colorado. He never once brought up Kiffin. He talked about John Garrison every time I ever spoke with him. So not saying there's a chance, but like he has a relationship with John Garrison. And again, like I said, I think money-wise, resources, spreading things out, being balanced, Ole Miss is probably served better not going that route because you would prefer to get someone who can play multiple years. Now, Jordan Seaton, absolute monster. I'm not an NFL scout. I think he's got a really good shot at playing in the NFL for a long time. I'm seeing him in person. I was like, this guy does not need to be playing against this level of high school. Like, he is going to hurt someone.
Sure.
Like, he is nasty. But Colorado is still trying to get him back. Now, he's not, to my knowledge, unless something happened over the last hour, he's not officially in the portal yet. So he's still entertaining offers from Colorado.
As good negotiators would.
Yeah.
You don't close the doors on possibilities here, man.
Yeah. So, he's going to see, okay, Colorado, do you want me or not? Mm-hmm. He's got until tomorrow to decide if he wants to get in officially. You mentioned Texas. Texas will be in the mix if he gets in the portal officially. Oregon will be in the mix. He had some interesting tweets yesterday when Dante Moore announced he was coming back. So he's going to go to the highest bidder. He has no affiliation to any of these schools. He's from Washington, D.C. Like, unless he goes to be a Terp and he's a big Scott Van Pelt fan, he's going to go to whoever gives him the most money.
Yes. And he's gotten I just don't know. Like if you're Ole Miss, when you got other like $4 million, you're probably going to go get to $4 million for this kid. And you'd say, well, spend $8 million and just secure Jordan Seaton and the best linebacker you can find and call it a portal, right? But I don't see that happening. What about the Desert Brothers from Florida State? That's what a lot of people, they got in yesterday. I haven't heard anything on the Desert Brothers.
No, and it's
I don't know.
Probably most likely a package deal. And how much money are they both wanting?
Are they visiting? Is what Marlon Wilson wants to know. Do we know if they're visiting?
Desert Destroyers. It's a good.
I don't
tag
dislike
team,
that. I like
tag team wrestling name.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they are not.
Yeah.
I think LSU is rooting around there. I think Ohio State is. Somebody asked me the other day on the board, I can't remember who it was, asked me if Ole Miss recruited them out of high school.
They
Ole Miss did not. So at this point, I think a lot of it is like you kind of have to go with known commodities. Like somebody in the chat asked about Liam Danitz. That's a potential, ceiling type guy. Played D3 ball, but dominated D3. So do you believe that he can come in and be a difference maker in the SEC? That's the question. Because I think at this point, with the remaining funds, you got to hit. You can't whiff and take a chance on someone like one of the Desser brothers that played sparingly at Florida State.
Dadgummit, the Giants are hiring John Harbaugh.
Oh, did you not see that last night?
No.
Surprise, surprise. He doesn't want to meet with Amy Adams Strunk. That idiot. Nepotism.
The Cowboys. That's why let's vote for the Bears. The Cowboys are always going to be the Cowboys. Come on, Bears. Let's win one.
But
Jeff Jones, Dottery, and Harper are going to look good in purple ink gold. Obviously an LSU fan.
Yeah, that's fine.
LSU fans in the chat, man. Like these first responders are hilarious, bro. They're worse than the state ever was. The worst the state ever was, bro. It don't matter if it's Twitter in the comment section, man. Like they always like say stuff like another so and so post whatever about LSU from an Ole Miss fan. I'm like, dude, y'all are the ones that constantly talk about this stuff. I haven't brought up LSU now that I bet like outside of like the context of Devin Harper, it's LSU for Devin Harper, it's LSU for TJ Dottery, even though Alabama and Auburn have come after him hard too. And yet every time there is even a remote reference like, well, you're talking about us. Oh, yeah, because you're obsessed because Lane is the Lane Portal King. Dude, they're 1-2. They're 1-2 in Portal. Like, it would be like next season setting up to be so incredibly hilariously like toxic for LSU. You know what I mean?
It's going to be a fascinating thing to watch that game.
This guy wants to know about your hat, first of all. What is your hat?
I kind of forgot. Oh, it's a what brand is this? It's a golf brand.
Daniel wants to know what it means.
Oh, it's just like it's a cocktail. Shout out to my guy Jason Cleveland. He got me this hat at it's a golf course in Knoxville. He got it for me.
But what does it mean? M cocktail.
The M is the brand. I can't think of what the brand is, but
the cocktail just looked tasty. That's what you're saying.
He it was just a buddy got me a hat. Nice guy.
Yeah. Fair enough. So now we know Daniel. We know Daniel. But here's the thing. LSU fans, they're right. He's right. Lil Sith Lord. Sith Lord. This is a Star Wars fan. I love that. They haven't stopped tweeting about Ole Miss. Seriously. And they're in the comment section still. Right now, it's perfect. It's number one.
Travis Matthew is the brand.
Travis Matthew is the brand. There you go. Daniel, the brand is Travis Matthew. Yeah. Okay.
Matthew. LSU since like October, the online persona has just been the epitome of not mad, actually laughing.
What a weird group, man. It was funny because Jarrell posted like, Ben, you can't go to Baton Rouge by yourself, but I'll go with you. I was like, first of all, Well,
what I was going to say was watching that game, I will be in a pub in London for that game. that will be interesting to have to explain to people in a proper gaff what this game means. That will be fun.
See, old Jeff Jones, we changing belt to ass to boot to ass. Get it? Woo! Hey, did Kiwan end up at LSU? How'd that work out? How about Trinidad Chambliss? He ended up there? Hey, no doubt you're getting TJ Dottery, looks like, right now. I thought it was Alabama or Auburn. I know that's who'd been really talking to him, but of course Lane's going to go that way. Probably Devin Harper too.
Speaking of Kiwan, I was
having ass, baby.
I was having this discussion with somebody.
What a weird group.
Which crowd pop did you think was louder? Kiwan's touchdown run or Daquan Wright's touchdown catch?
Say that again.
In the Fiesta Bowl, which crowd pop was louder? Kiwan's touchdown?
Kiwan.
Or Daquan Wright's touchdown?
Kiwan.
Man, I might be a little biased because it was in the end zone that I was in. But man, it was loud when Daquan Wright caught that ball. Now, I was sitting too. I did not get their names, but a very lovely couple.
Real ones know about that one right there, little Sith Lord. That dude on Twitter is like, I'm the vice president of like the Hells Angels in Baton Rouge. And if I ever see you, oh buddy, are you screwed? And then people go at him and he just blocks them on Twitter. Like, come on, bro.
I was sitting next to a very nice couple from California that were born in 2004. So that was humbling.
That's when I graduated high school.
Yeah. And like one of their moms was with them. And when Daquan Wright caught it, the mom was just going nuts. And she was like shaking me. And I just turned to her and I was like, there's too much time.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, when they went in, the first thing I thought was, well, damn, how much time? Oh, yeah, way too much. Yeah, it's not.
Now,
and like TJ Dottery was a big part of getting bullied, but like TJ Dottery was so important for you all year. He's the green dot guy. He played every snap except for like 4 or 5 games in every game.
Now, on the flip side, Miami scores. I thought, hey, there's plenty of time. And I was almost right because, man, Ole Miss went down the field quick. But I don't want to rehash.
And there wasn't a Hail Mary. That was pass interference. And someone corrected me from the other day. It wouldn't have been at the one. This isn't NFL rules. I knew that, but like I really didn't. It's the 20. It should be. Also, what should be adopted? First of all, rules should be uniform across football. Don't get me started on that. But one thing that the NFL does right that college football doesn't, which isn't a lot, but one thing is if you catch the ball with like on your knee on the ground, you're not down until you're touched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hate that. Like dude catches like goes down on his knee. I hate that.
The thing that sucked about that game was, and I hate to rehash this, but we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it, is that, man, I felt so bad for Lucas Carnero. Because the guy was just unbelievable all year.
Where's that dude? Where's that other dude? Where was his name? Jeff Jones, the LSU fan that said we're going to put boot to ass instead of belt to ass. Hey, Lucas Carnero is not your kicker, even though Lane was swearing it. Oscar Bird is not your punter. Caleb Cunningham is not one of your wide receivers.
I couldn't believe that, because that's the thing is like, obviously if he doesn't doink it, I mean, that drive is just to kick a field goal to win it, to go to the national championship.
Yes, it is. Dang.
Felt terrible for him. And then, man, just like the unfortunate, just inadvertent face mask on Jalen Braxton on the 3rd and 9. I mean, just tough. But, I mean, just a hell of a game, too. I mean, that game was one of the better live games I've ever been to.
That game was torture. Like that game was weird and dumb and stupid, and I loved every second of it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, people were asking me after the game, like a couple Miami people came up to me, and I don't know about anybody else's experience. I thought the Miami people were perfectly fine. Like I had several come up to me that were just like, man, hell of a game. Y'all got a great team. Trinidad's awesome. Kiwan's great. But
dude, Miami fans showed up. They surprised me on that one. They really did. They were awesome. Dude,
before kick, it was looking like it was going to be another Sugar Bowl,
mm-hmm.
and then it filled in. Shout out to my guy that was in the section next to me. The section next to me, my man had dreads, and he was pounding
Good.
like $35 margaritas the whole game.
Awesome. That guy sounds great. I think I would love to hang out with him.
Dude, he was so fired up. And then as soon as Daquan Wright caught that touchdown, like right in front of us, that man was melting his face into his hands, and he was stressing.
Yeah.
And
what was funny is like at the Sugar Bowl, I had this, like, he looked like if TJ Miller were just shredded. You know what I mean? The actor TJ Miller looked just like except massive. And he just sat there. He was by himself in this Ole Miss section, nice as he could be, and would just, bark on big things.
Let me say this. If anybody in the chat, because I did not get a chance to go over there and offer cash money to somebody, if anybody knows how I can get my hands on a Live Moss student section Taco Bell scarf, God, I will pay money for it. My wife was like, "Why didn't you go over there and get one?" And
that is like the most Zach Berry thing ever. All right.
It really is.
We got we're not going to be on 15, 20 more minutes on here. So let's really reset now. All right. Okay. We started out talking about TJ Dottery. TJ Dottery is now in the portal. Ole Miss's leading tackler and green dot guy for last year. Do you think there's a chance Ole Miss pulls him back out of the portal and retains him?
No.
I don't either. Number two, if they aren't able to do so, which we don't think so, right? Who are the most realistic candidates as far as portal additions? Who's left out there? We know the Cal linebacker is one, but is there anybody out there that we haven't talked about yet?
Again, I don't want to throw out names and then people say, well, you said it on the podcast. But as far as guys in the portal at the linebacker position that have not committed anywhere, which I don't know if there are any ties to Ole Miss, but just looking at the linebackers that are available, Trey Lathan from Kansas, from Miami originally, Omar Graham, Florida State, which I don't know if I don't think he's officially in the portal yet. Another Florida guy. I mentioned that because Ole Miss recruits Florida pretty heavily. That's kind of it. Like, there's a linebacker from Arkansas State that's in the portal. There's a Mekhi Gabor from North Carolina. I believe Ole Miss recruited him a little bit out of high school, but it's pretty bare right now. Kamar Mathuti from Oregon, another guy, but he's from California. I don't know if there's any ties there. I'm just merely saying who is not committed anywhere. Now, there are guys that are committed.
I love this ace of spades. Just tamper. Everyone else is.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to tamper.
Everybody's tampering. Ole Miss included. Everybody tampers.
Pretty sure Ole Miss is they at least were tampering with an Alabama commit.
Yeah.
But sure, if guys aren't signed, yeah, it's fair game.
My question is this. All right. Over under 1.5 linebackers being added between now and when the window is done and over with. I just love why you think about that Ole Miss and LSU's number one, Ole Miss number two, as far as portal rankings. I was mentioning this earlier. Just take all the other stuff with Ole Miss LSU out of it. But y'all thought the Egg Bowl and the toxicity of the late 2010s was bad. My word in heaven.
No, dude. If you were at, which I was, if you were at 2021 Ole Miss Tennessee,
I was there.
You were there too?
Yep.
September 19th is going to be that times a million.
It's going to be way worse than when Houston Nutt returned to Arkansas and had batteries thrown at him.
Oh, I was at that game too.
I wasn't at that one, but I was watching.
Security was very lax back then.
That's the same game where at the end of it, Chuck almost got in a fight with a dude who looked like, he said, and I'm telling you, he looked like a hog. He looked like a razorback. And he came up and started talking his shit.
Kind of crazy, because if you haven't seen Chuck in person, not a small human. So
he's not.
somebody had some liquid courage to go up to Chuck on the field.
But also, Chuck was probably feeling his, Chuck is
Probably
kind of like me, runs his mouth all the time. I know y'all talked about it before, but with Dottery leaving, this was going to be my next question as we wrap this thing up here. I would love to see a swing back on Chris Jones. I am calling about that today.
Could be.
That's one that I'm curious about. I could see that happening. But again, Ole Miss signed him to a deal just north of $200K, and then he gets offered $600K to go somewhere else.
Do you know who offered him $600K?
I've heard some. I haven't independently verified it, so I'm not going to just.
Okay.
I know I pop off like this all the time, but like I do have standards, right? I do try to like do it right, and I just hadn't heard. I haven't heard that. But here's the thing:
I'm scrolling through the linebackers, and look, if you want to get a picture of the guy I was talking about that was pounding margaritas at the game,
yeah.
Cannon Williams, linebacker from Kent State. This dude looks almost identical to the guy I'm talking about.
Ole Miss missing on another Chris Jones is almost too much to bear.
Yeah.
Almost.
Just change his name. There's one name that I just saw that popped up here as available.
TJ Dottery changed his name from TJ Dudley after the messiness in the end of Clemson.
Yeah.
Which is like.
I just saw Elijah Groves from NC State is in the portal, or at least expected to. The brother of Taylor Groves.
Kendrick, I like this. Kiffin and Ole Miss are number 1 and number 2 in the portal because they're both trying to win a breakup. There's some truth to that. But Ole Miss is like this every year. This isn't a change for them. And LSU, too. I mean, LSU had the number 1 portal class with Brian Kelly at $18 million and didn't do shit with it. Both of these teams are going to be competitive, good teams next year. But the toxicity of the rivalry itself. LSU can keep saying, well, Ole Miss isn't a real rivalry. We're rivals with Alabama. No, you're not.
Yeah, that's not a real rivalry because you get dominated in the rivalry.
Yeah. It's already toxic down here, Ben. They are foaming at the mouth. Well,
also,
you keep holding the line there, friend.
Also, like we've talked about on Hit That Line before, I mean, if you look at the numbers, LSU is a fake elite job.
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying.
God is good. I'm just going to say, God is good. God is sovereign. What?
You look at
the
numbers.
Go for it. I'm listening.
I mean, I already talked about it on the last podcast that we did together with their numbers since 2021 being damn near identical to Minnesota.
Oh.
I mean, just like look at what they've done recently with the elite players. Did nothing under Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly had Jaden Daniels.
Yes, he did.
Couldn't do anything.
Lane Kiffin had the best Ole Miss roster ever and lost 3 games, including to Kentucky with a real estate agent at quarterback.
Les Miles had like 4 NFL wide receivers and Leonard Fournette and probably like 12 NFL guys on defense. Didn't do anything. I mean, you got the 2019 blip, which it's a blip. Ed Orgeron didn't do shit. That was just Joe Burrow. And that offense being incredible.
Where are y'all trophies at? Well, they would have gotten their first one since the 60s, you know, man.
Well, y'all, I didn't play at Ole Miss, so I don't have any trophies.
Yeah, I don't have any trophies either. I got one trophy somewhere in here. And it's the stupidest trophy I've ever gotten. That's fun.
Well, I
don't have trophies.
I had a Dundee down here, but my kids keep taking it.
That's fantastic. Where y'all trophies at? Again. Why are y'all here? Like, at the end of the day, Lane has done exactly what you wanted him to do at LSU as the new LSU head coach in this portal cycle, just as Ole Miss has done exactly what you wanted to do without Lane Kiffin and saying, are you still going to be a portal, not just contender, but like a portal front, like a pace car for the portal. And Ole Miss is still doing that. But there's no doubt TJ Dottery losing him is a big deal. That hurts. I mean, it kills your depth. Will Ole Miss circle back to Chris Jones potentially? I think this Cal linebacker, like I heard his name specifically yesterday, from the people who know this stuff, and or do these things. And to hear his name tells me that whether he's committed or not, like he's on who's visiting? Who do we know for sure is visiting this weekend? Right? We thought Tyler Miller was coming in on Thursday. He commits to Mississippi State. Ole Miss still needs an offensive line. We'll see if he shows. I doubt it. Probably already signed the deal.
Quay McBroom.
Yep.
Jordan Raynaud.
Yep.
Blake Purchase.
Yep.
Liam Danitz tomorrow. And the source that I talked to about Luke Farrelly would absolutely know. There's potential that he could visit. So that's it right now. Now, that doesn't mean
do we anticipate more? I think yes.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's definitely people that are either already on campus or going to visit that we just don't know about yet because it's just kind of how it is at this point. Like, it's pretty tight around this time.
Bull Dottery has not responded to me, by the way.
Has the text been delivered?
Yeah.
Does he have read receipts on?
I hadn't texted him in a while, so I don't remember. That'd be hilarious if they did, though.
Yeah. So
get left on read for him to go to LSU.
A lot of recruits and players have read receipts on, and I wonder if they know.
That's a rookie move if you do.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You know, any chance that Ole Miss throws TJ his number and he comes back? Maybe. No, but I mean, there's always a chance. But I mean, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I remember that too, Daniel, and that was awesome. That was awesome, dude. He called him out, man.
That was it. Wasn't Bain.
Bain is awesome.
It was Keontae Scott.
Okay,
was coming on the corner blitz.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I see you. Come on, all right." Go. And it was a perfectly thrown ball too. Like had he not been interfered with, he probably catches it. He wasn't even able to jump.
Oh no,
they didn't lose because of that call. I just think it would have been nice to get
this call on the this was the touchdown to Wright. That was when he did the
gotcha.
You know, come on.
Okay, I thought, oh, dude, even cooler. Wonder why Lane deleted his tweet about this being best. I don't know. I don't worry about the man's Twitter account no more. Chase Bryan, thoughts on Sonny P dropping back to play middle linebacker? I don't see that happening. I think he's good. Like he got better and better at that role. He's going to play that. Like that's his NFL role. That's why he was moved there. That's why he kept him there. Now, what's great is that because Prince Will is also listed as a linebacker, right? So in the 4-2-5, Suntarin, Prince Will, either of them could, in theory, slide down. It wouldn't surprise me if Maldonado is listed as a linebacker when he gets here, because really that's what he'll be playing in this 4-2-5 system. But for Suntarin, it's more linebacker responsibilities as far as dropping back into coverage. But the physicality of middle linebacker, like TJ had his struggles with that. I would be shocked if Suntarin, they moved him there. I just think it doesn't suit what he does well. Thank you, Daniel. Subscribe to the Ole Miss Spirit. Yes, that QR code right above my head. Both Zach and I are there all day, every day. You don't have to just sit here for an hour and talk to us on a podcast, man. We're talking about this stuff all day. So, like, when we get off of here in a few minutes, we're going to go to the Ole Miss Spirit and continue to talk about it. So just scan that QR code. As a new member, you get 50% off an annual sub. It's $50 to talk about this stuff all the time. And even when the portal closes on Friday at 11:59 p.m. or midnight, right? 11:59, this stuff is going to continue to play out. It's just tomorrow's the last day that new entrants can get in.
Yeah.
But the activity remains. So quick, the longer that Kaden Lee doesn't make a decision, the longer that Chris Jones doesn't make a decision, the longer that TJ Dottery doesn't just up and go to LSU, if you're wondering about retention or getting guys back in that way, like that stuff will continue after tomorrow. You know, because Ole Miss, of course, is talking to Chris Jones. Ole Miss was talking to TJ Dottery. Now, do I think the reason TJ got in was because term sheets leaked? No, that is not why I think so. Was it a factor, or was it? Of course it was. But all those guys talk about that stuff. Agents and the shenanigans of agents. The reason Devin Harper got in is because of agent shenanigans. This is the product of unfettered capitalism. That's what you're seeing in college football. It's unfettered. Like there's no. Of course, we signed him. The contract doesn't mean anything. The number 3 on the Sports Center top 10 was Ole Miss's buzzer beater in basketball, Patton Pinkins, who's going to be an absolute superstar, beating Georgia back-to-back wins. Yes, and thank you, Marlon. And then as far as like Miami and Indiana players, they get
5 days,
5 more days after it's over. So you're talking about this really not being done until February.
Yeah, real quick, you mentioned
the Ole Miss Spirit.
You mentioned Lane Kiffin and deleting things. Speaking of Lane Kiffin and deleting things, Walker Howard is back at Ole Miss.
Oh boy, what a great way to frame that.
Good for him. Somebody in
I
the
saw him
chat.
at the Fiesta Bowl and he hollered out to me, and I was like, "Walker, it's great to see you." And I saw him. He was with Caden Priestcorn, and yeah, I kind of knew then. Not only was Brady Priestcorn coming back, but Walker was coming back too.
Somebody in the chat said, "Ask Coach Saban if it's a fake elite job." Well, he left for Alabama, so there you go.
There you go. There you go. All right, give me the rapid fire. Ask me the rapid fire pressing questions, Zach, because I want to make sure that we answer to the people's questions for our one podcast for the day. Tomorrow, Sudu and I will be live at 9 a.m. Central Time for Talk of Champions. I think we're just going to call everything Talk of Champions. There's no reason not to at this point. Like everything needs to be Talk of Champions. Damn it, they were almost a champion in football this year. They're champion in 2022 baseball, but it's a play on Walk of Champions if you're obtuse or just usually stupid.
Well, since you brought up basketball, Ole Miss is what, 10-7?
Yes.
What's the magic number for Ole Miss to be a tournament team?
Oh, golly.
Do they got to win?
They got to win 12 in the league, don't they? 11 or 12?
Yeah.
If you win 10, golly. You got to get double-digit wins in the league, obviously. My question is, does it have to be 10, 11, or 12? I guess the quality matters, but, you did not help yourself in the non-conference at all.
No. A lot of work to be done.
Yes, but so I lean – I think – oh, gosh, man.
I mean, barring winning 13 in a row – I think if you don't beat Mississippi State on Saturday, it's probably done.
Got it. 1-0 every week.
1-0 mentality.
1-0 mentality.
Yeah. Other rapid fire.
Yeah. I need all the questions. If it's a repeat of TJ Dottery, Chris Jones, what are the most pressing questions? We every time Zach and I do a podcast together, at the end of it's gonna be talk your shit. That's going to be the name of the segment. I'm going to get it going. Sponsored by, maybe we'll say Talk Yo Shit, sponsored by Built Different Fitness. 662-832-0961, online at bdoxford.com. Or we say Talk Yo Shit, Ben, with the questions that or that Zach would be throwing at me, or I would in this new segment we've created in real time, we'll be doing to you next time, right? So I'm talking my shit. You're peppering me with questions. Brought to you by Riverland Roofing. Brought to you by B&A Bank. Hit me with them. I'm talking my shit.
The quarterback for Ole Miss next year will be blank.
Say it again.
The quarterback for Ole Miss.
Doing that. I know. I'm just Trinidad Chambliss.
I
talk my shit. Trinidad Chambliss.
I tend to agree.
All right. Give me another one. Chris Jones, TJ Dottery. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk it.
All right. Who will be the leading tackler for Ole Miss in 2026?
That is awesome. Well phrased, Keaton Thomas.
Okay. The leading pass catcher for Ole Miss next year will be in yards, not receptions.
Kaden Lee.
Okay. Over under.
Does Shakai Mills Knight get carries from Gavin?
I think so.
All right.
I think so. I think they're gonna keep the tread on the tires with Kiwan. JT Lindsay will be a good change of pace. And then
if AK Deer gets into the portal, we need the Bentley interview. Man, so do I.
Okay, over under.
Do the best I can, man. I promise, Craig. If and when. Oh, we'll just keep working. All I can do is promise to keep working. All right, keep going.
Over under 6 touchdowns for Deuce Knight next year.
Over under 6 touchdowns for Deuce Knight. Under.
Because look.
Now ask me stuff pressing now. Like, hey, Ben, over under 1.5 like I asked you, you know?
Okay.
Hit me up with it. What did we all cover today that we have to make sure before we get out of here they have to know? Old Rebel says over. He says over for touchdowns more than 6.
Deuce Knight could probably play some random non-con team and just go crazy.
He did it against Mercer. 6 tutties, 15 for 20 for you know what? Dang, you're all right. Probably over.
Okay, so Jordan Raynaud, Blake Purchase.
Hey, my friend Robbins Rogers just texted me. He's a teacher at New Albany Middle School. He is watching the show in class. Why do I know that? Because my sweet daughter Gracie just said, Mr. Rogers is listening to you. He is listening to you in class right now, Daddy. No, it's study hall, so don't.
Headphones on?
Well, she's like, I recognize that voice. That's you, Daddy.
He doesn't have headphones on.
All right. Oh, here's a good one. Dakota King. Ben over under 1.5 offensive linemen signed before it closes.
Over.
I
think they'll get at least 2.
Over.
Okay.
Jay Walden over under 9 wins as we talk our shit.
If Trinidad Chambliss is back, over.
Yeah, 10-2 with Trinidad. With Deuce Knight as your quarterback, I don't know. Mercer had 1 loss when Deuce.
Yeah, that was a good FCS team.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan Raynaud, Blake Purchase, Liam Danitz. How many does Ole Miss get?
You answer that because you like. I honestly want to hear what you would say about that because this is your expertise more than anybody else at the Ole Miss Spirit. Zach. But also, like, who is the must-have of that group in your opinion?
You got to get one of Raynaud and Purchase. You're not going to get both.
All right.
And then you take a flyer on Danitz, man, because like I said, I think the D line is in a really good spot for next year.
Me too.
And I can't argue with Randall Joyner bringing a guy in and wanting to get a look at him because the track record for Randall is pretty damn good.
He understood very early on in his career as he started to climb the ladder as a young up-and-coming coach. It is about Jimmys and Joes and not X's and O's.
So if you think that you can bring him in and like I wrote, you can read it at the Ole Miss Spirit. I wrote about Danitz. I mean, 3rd down guy. Bring him in.
Look at this Ole Miss. Bro, look at David in this Ole Miss fan fiction, Zach. September 19th. Walker Howard Whitley on the goal line to win. Landry storms the field and attacks Howard. Bentley comes out of the stands to break up the fight. That is insane. Diabolical.
Stone cold glass break when Bentley hits the field.
Uh-oh.
Sorry. Okay, so I think.
Oh, here's a good one. From the captain, over under number of top 100 prospects signed with Ole Miss before the portal closes.
Like top 100 in the portal?
I guess.
I mean, if I can pull it up right now and see who they got already.
Are all these Sharks that Pete has tweeted out accounted for? We got them accounted for.
Yeah.
All right,
I believe so. So let's see. As far as like, well, I was talking about Danitz was like he could be a third down guy, especially with Jonathan Maldonado. Like you could like they I've heard people call it like the race car formation or something where you bring in 2 speed guys on 3rd down. Maldonado and Danitz coming off the edge with, the beef on the inside. That's a pretty solid line to run out there if you're doing line changes where you got 2 speed rush guys coming off the edge to get after the quarterback on a passing down. So yeah, I think you got to get at least 2 of those 3. And like I said, I don't think you get both Raynaud and Purchase, which I think both, like either one would be a great addition because they both played a considerable amount of snaps at both Alabama and Oregon. They both played in the college football playoff. So they weren't, scrub, late game coming in when the game was in hand type dudes. Like Purchase had a big sack in the Cotton Bowl against Texas Tech. Raynaud played a lot. He played in the Rose Bowl. So either one of those guys, I think, gives you something on the defensive line. But yeah, I think you get 2 out of those 3, and then you got to get Quay McBroom and maybe one other guy on the offensive line, and I think you're good because I mean, look, you got Carius Kern, where I think you can shuffle some things around. He can play a tackle position. Terrace Davis re-signed. He's back. That was a guy that played as a true freshman at Maryland. You re-signed him for a reason, so he's got to put up or shut up at this point. So as far as one more rapid fire,
give me some, man.
Okay.
Dakota King said he sent me a DM on Twitter, and apparently I hadn't checked my DMs in a minute, man. Like, buddy, I'm gonna have to go through these DMs. Holy cow, I got a bunch of them.
They don't.
I didn't
pop
realize
up anymore.
Yeah, like I had to go into requests.
You have to like click on the chat to see them sometimes. Like they don't pop up with the
So I'm sorry, Dakota. I'll get through that as best I can later today. I love this from Brandon Tyler. Winnie Watkinson gooning on the sideline. Oh, Georgia State stud linebacker just entered the portal.
Saw that.
So now every linebacker.
Familiarity there. Enrique Davis.
Enrique.
On staff there.
Yep.
Maybe helping him out. That's like a good Mark Robinson type dude. 5'10", 215.
Probably played a skill position for moving.
96 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. 87 PFF tackle grade. That's pretty damn good.
We know this. We know that it's not like they're gonna add at linebacker in the portal.
Josiah Robinson is his name if you're listening and you want to know.
But we know that they're gonna add multiple linebackers now. We feel like I mean they have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of Enrique, I might reach out to him and see if he knows what Josiah is doing.
That's an interesting one. Hit it up.
Yeah. I mean, Duke can tackle.
See, this is where I'm at. This is the great question right here. And I'm dealing with it myself, and I can't really get a good answer on it. This is from Hayden Tisdale. Is Chris Jones now worth the $600K now that Dottery is gone? Maybe.
Depends on what else you got going on.
Like that, as to quote the greatest show ever, The Wire, the price of the brick has gone up. You know what I mean? Like
yesterday's price is not today's price.
Seaton just officially hit the portal. What about the Wake Forest offense? We don't think Jordan Seaton's going to end up at Ole Miss.
I don't think so.
Tucker Italiano, my dude, he said Dottery is greater than Jones at $600K. I don't disagree with that. Thing is like, I don't know if the hay's not, or the train's done not left the station as far as TJ Dottery is concerned. Are we sleeping on Anthony Davis Jr.?
It's hard for a true freshman to come in and play right away.
If Jacoby couldn't do it, who they expect to have a big year 2 step up, then I don't know who.
Not doubting him. He could very well come in and make me look like an idiot and play great, but it's hard. See,
Hayden gets it. The price of the brick has indeed gone up, especially when one Chris Jones. I mean, the fact, like, maybe you're like, oh no, Chris, you signed a contract. We need you at that $200K price point because we need to spread out, got some other needs in that way. All right. This has been a fun edition of Talk of Champions. I've been Garrett at Spirit, been on Twitter. He's Zach Berry at Zach_Berry on the Twitters. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, review Talk of Champions in iTunes and all the places you get your podcasts. But more than anything else, this QR code right above my head. Scan it today. Become a new member of the Ole Miss Spirit, omspirit.com, fit of on 3, and you will get 50% off an annual subscription. And we talk about this stuff all day, every day. We don't just do it for an hour and 15 minutes on a podcast. Zach and I, after we log off here, are going to go right over there to the Ole Miss Spirit, and we're going to be talking about it the rest of the day. So come hang out with us, man. Mary says, be blessed. You be blessed, Mary. She's a ride or die, dude.
Last rapid fire. The Ole Miss tight ends coach will be.
Oh, my gosh.
I have no idea.
I don't either. Hey, look, we were right about Constantine.
Yeah, I mean that was just a matter of the Falcons needed to end their season.
Same thing with Patrick Toney when we were first at the Ole Miss Spirit for that one too. Is Patrick Toney, but also Constantine. He's in the building. What's his name? Patrick Constantine.
Paul
Constantine, which is an incredible name.
Very
Paul
good name.
Constantine, very biblical name. Paul Constantine. Somebody
Shout
said
out.
Caden Priestcorn. I don't think Caden Priestcorn is ready for that. No.
Shout
I heard
out
Michael Nicewander, old friend Michael Nicewander, had been a candidate.
I mean, could John David Baker just do it?
Or you use it as a spot to elevate somebody who maybe deserved a promotion for a while and hadn't gotten one.
Yeah.
If they're trying to get back on the field.
I was going to say,
Pace with Spades. Could P. Willie sue for an extra year of eligibility? Maybe.
Shout out the Southwest Wi-Fi for I was able to get that Patrick Toney thing out there because of that.
But the Wake Forest offensive line, I never answered that question for Dakota. Think Ole Miss will be in it for him?
Who is it?
I don't remember his name. I do know that Ole Miss is in on that Texas offensive lineman who drew stars last year against Oklahoma and Mississippi State. Nate Brooks.
There's a couple out there that I have
Patrick
not been
Carter's
able
tight ends
to.
coach. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe something like that. I think they're going to hire somebody externally, but yeah.
Because Patrick Carter has been instrumental.
Huge. He was your wide receivers coach for the entire postseason run, pretty much. Let's be honest.
And he's a huge part of the recruiting brain trust as well. Are they talking about Melvin Ciani from Wake Forest?
I'll take your word for it.
Last thing, maybe not a question, but more of just a statement, non-Ole Miss related. If you haven't seen One Battle After Another,
oh man,
or Begonia, watch it.
I hadn't seen either. Actually, the wife and I, she wanted something to watch together. We just started Bridgerton.
It's a good show.
Man, I'm just going to say, I love my wife. And the fact that she wanted to watch this together, I'm like, you want to go with Bridgerton? You know, we've been together forever. She's like, yeah. And, man, they got to it pretty quick, man. You know what I mean? My man was smashing up against a tree. And I thought Emily would blink, and she didn't even blink, bro. She was like, hell yeah, let's roll on. You know, so we hit on that Bridgerton tip, man.
The new Harlan Coben show on Netflix is very good.
The what now?
Harlan Coben. He's a British novelist. Netflix has done a bunch of his books, turned them into television shows.
Oh,
very good stuff. I don't know. I think we've talked about this before. For some reason, I gravitate towards British crime thrillers, dramas.
Oh, so that dude, I saw one with David Tennant and man, what was that called?
Talking about Broadchurch.
Broadchurch. All right,
fantastic show.
Fantastic. Will Traylon Ray play wide receiver this season? I think he's going back to wide receiver.
I think he's going back.
Yep. But like really because he wasn't healthy all year. I mean, even in spring, he would have little runs of being healthy, and he had some real juice, man. I mean, they've evaluated him very much like Deuce Alexander, underutilized.
I do think down the stretch, he gave them a lot on scout team at corner. Like really went after the wide receivers in practice, and that helped a lot. But yeah,
and let's be honest, cornerback outside of Jalen Braxton and Antonio Kite was banged up almost the entire end of the year. Chris Graves is in the portal for a reason, and I hope he lands somewhere great, man. Chris Graves really put in the time at Ole Miss, a 3-year player at Ole Miss.
Played well.
You know? Played well, but like they portaled over him. Let's call it for what it is. I was incorrect when somebody told me, and I just ran with it, that Delano Townsend was portaled over. No, he was not. They lost him, and he was mad because of the money and the thing and all this stuff. Same deal with TJ Dottery. But unlike with Delano Townsend, which he just wanted to negotiate in good faith, I think TJ Dottery's just gone.
Yeah. Can't make Delano Townsend mad.
And like now with the way things have fallen, I mean, how much more important did he become? So I wanted to hit on that. Traylon Ray, yes, I've heard he's going to go back to.
Like I said, I think solidifying the interior was massive to keep those three guys.
I do too. He's Zach. I'm Ben, the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com. Fit on 3. Sign up through scanning that QR code. You'd be if you're a new member, you will get 50% off an annual sub at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com. My thanks to B&A Bank, Riverland Roofing, Tannehill Carmen P. LLC, Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group, College Corner, Built Different Fitness, Jones Merchant Services, Advanced Payments Inc., and of course our friends at Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford. Y'all are the best. Thank you for always making these so much fun. Zach and I will be back again at some point. My plan, I took a break yesterday. I told Zach, I was like, Zach, you could do one on your own if you wanted to. He didn't take me up on it. I've been doing a show a day, even on weekends, for 2 months straight. We're going to have a show every single day. For me, I'm going to plan to do 10 a.m. every single day, except on weekends, and then we'll probably have weekend shows too. But tomorrow will be early. While every other show, the just plan for 10 a.m. every day to be here live with Ben and somebody. Tomorrow, Sudu and I will be a little bit early because he's got some stuff he's got to do for our game runs deep at 9 a.m. So I'll have that link out for y'all to be waiting and stuff. We know that my friend Mary will be there. She said all the time, God is good. Praise be to him from whom all blessings flow. That is absolutely true, that we get to do this as a job. God is real and he's sovereign, and man, he has blessed us all beyond we could possibly explain. Thank you, Mary. Have we given up on Chris Jones? Man, Mike, you got in here late. That's been the conversation. I would not be surprised to see them circle back, but we're out of time. Been going at this for almost an hour and a half now. Appreciate y'all. Bye, Zach. Love you, buddy.
See you, dude. Be good.
See Jay Walden get